Hi, Brian from Airflow Music here once again. Welcome back. This is the third in our little trio of videos this week, working different exercises based on expanded scales. And this being the third of the group, we're going to go for the most advanced version in this video. So, whereas up to this point we've been cycling through fragments of each mode of the scale, 4-note fragments, then 6-note fragments. Now we're going to go for the whole octave and really cover some ground. If you've been following these videos for the past 2 days, you basically know how this exercise is going to go. It's just notated slightly differently. We're now into 16th notes because we've got more notes to cover, more distance to cover in a single motion. And so we've got to keep this thing moving along a little bit. But other than that, it's basically the same exercise we've been working on. So there's not too much more to say about it. Just for interest's sake, this is how it looks on the page. You'll see at least the top of the page on the screen right now. And so the same rules apply. We're moving through these things. What I'm looking for is keeping going through this nice and smoothly from the beginning of the exercise to the end. I'm focused on playing smoothly from note to note and across the entire phrase. And I'm trying to keep the volume at a reasonably low level. Don't want to play this too loud. Even though a couple of lines in, this gets fairly well into the upper register, we really don't want to try and play too loud on this. It is in many ways more difficult to play softly in the upper register, but it's an important skill to develop. And the overall approach to playing things like this, really connecting our registers together, is a big part of the point of working on exercises like these. What we want to do is to really focus on keeping everything as easy as possible up in our embouchures. Make sure that everything's set and everything's together, but we're not trying to actively do too much with our lips. Instead, I'm focusing on my breath support as the main engine of getting the airspeed to change so I can smoothly make it up and down these scales. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so we're going to get into this one. Once again, I'm going at 100 beats a minute, but we're now up on 16th note, so it's getting a little faster. And I'll see if I can get through safely in one piece. Other than that, before we get into the demonstration, because I know sometimes I lose people while I'm playing the whole thing and you don't necessarily see the bit afterwards. If there's another exercise or another type of exercise you'd like me to make a video like this about, please do leave a comment. I want to make this useful for you as much as it is for me, just to make me practice as much as anything else. So yeah, please comment below if there's something that would be useful to you that you'd like to see my take on. You'd like to see what exercise I have to try and work on, try and develop, try and fix something up. Okay? That would be great. Anyway, let's get into the demonstration. Reasonably soft volume, 100 beats a minute. Yeah, let's get to this thing. See you on the other side. 1, 2. Two. 1, 2, 1. One, two, three. One, two, one. 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 Okay, so there it is. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may notice that the light changed from my original introduction to this video to the playing portion to this final segment. And I can say in a nutshell, it's been a fairly frustrating afternoon. I'm now into evening. I recorded the demonstration segment. It took me a little while, a few more takes than I might have liked to really put it together and try and get through all 12 keys in one take fairly safely. And then got distracted with some other business for a little while. And then came back to record this speaking segment at the end and discovered that I'd set the microphone wrong and the audio I'd recorded for the demonstration part was absolutely useless. So I've now had to come back a couple hours later after the original thing and record it again. So I didn't actually get through that all in one take for 12 keys. There was a couple of repeats, and honestly a little frustration on my part. So on this occasion I edited it. Yeah, not my best afternoon, not my happiest day playing wise, but that happens from time to time, and the amount of these videos I've made at this stage, I should know to properly check the camera settings and double check them before I start filming something. Anyway, let's not get too bogged down in all of that. I hope you've enjoyed playing these exercises and working on these the past few days. I'm going to be back with more exercises for you early next week, a day or two from now when you see this. But I'll be back very soon. I hope you've had a less frustrating day with the trumpet than I have. And all the usual things apart from that. If you've enjoyed this video, hopefully having a good laugh at my expense for my idiocy. If you have enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button. Like I say, I'll be back with another one in a day or two. And until that time, you know what to do. Go practice.